Welcome back. It's been a couple of weeks. Obviously, I didn't get anything done on the plane. I just got home from a trip yesterday. Good news is, while I was gone, Aircraft Spruce made right and sent me an actual quarter pound of the soft rivets, which is perfect because that's what I want to do next, is get these hinges attached to the right wingtip, which means I got to get out some Pro Seal so I can get this smeared and put on there. I think this time a little different. I'm going to put the Pro Seal on the wingtip side. I think it'll make it less messy as I try and put these on there, so I'm not trying to manhandle these things around covered with Pro Seal. Once that's done, I'll get the new rivets put in, dial down the pressure, see if we can't get them squeezed, hopefully without causing any cracking this time, because I really don't want to go through all the repair stuff I did on the other wing. The other wing looks beautiful. It's probably as smooth as it could ever hope to be thanks to all of that work. I just don't want to have to do it to this one until later when I do the rest of the stuff. I did put the reinforcement strips in. You saw in the last video on that wingtip. They are completely cured now. I've got the wingtip installed. You'll see it here in a little bit. Once I get this one's hinges on, I will go ahead and install this wingtip, and I'll get the camera so I'll do a comparison to show you the difference between this one and all the give it has without the reinforcement and what that one is like. That's probably about as far as I'll make it today, is just get that stuff installed, give the Pro Seal time to cure, and then hopefully tomorrow I'll get the reinforcements done on this wingtip. And then we can get on to more fun things like, I don't know, maybe finally cutting some holes for lights. So yeah, stick around, see what VoiceOver Tim's got to say. Okay, welcome to the voiceover part. This was all yesterday. I let it sit overnight and cure, like I mentioned in the intro part of this. Went much better. The only thing I kind of forgot is, you saw me bring the Pro Seal in from outside. I forgot to let it warm up, so I set it out on the deck for a few minutes in the sun just to let it heat up a little bit. Helped a little, not a whole lot. It was still pretty thick. Went outside to mix it, hoping that the sun would help a little bit more. Got it all mixed up. This first side, decided to try something different and just spread some Pro Seal along the rivet line, thinking that would be less messy because I wouldn't be handling, there we go, wouldn't be handling Pro Seal covered hinge halves. As it turns out though, that was messier. There's too much Pro Seal on the wingtip itself, and then when I did put the hinges on, it oozed out between the hinges, made a bigger mess I had to clean up. So for this other side, you're going to see I'm just going to dab it on where I made those 1/4 inch holes for the Pro Seal rivet kind of things, and then just a little dab here and there. Really shouldn't need that much. There's so much surface area by the time it cures. It should be good and adhered to the whole thing. So went ahead, got both halves just clecoed in place, just so I could get the Pro Seal out of the way all at once. Didn't want to have to mess with that a second go around. And then going to go ahead and rivet one side at a time. These are the new softer rivets. These are 3-4 size rivets. And for my squeezer, again, your results will vary depending on what type of squeezer you use. But for my squeezer, I've got the pressure dialed down to about 30 psi, which is about half of what the normal pressure actually is for setting that size rivet. Just double checking. You can see I've got one strip of that that backer rod, that foam backer rod, glued in there from when I thought I was going to put the reinforcement in here a couple of weeks ago. It's not doing anything for me right now. It's just foam rod that's hot glued in place. It'll be useful here later on when I actually put that fiberglass over it. So First side is pretty much done. I just had to be careful, again, not to smash the eyelets of the rivet material, of the hinge material. You probably could bend it back out and get it expanded again, but it's just more work I didn't want to create. So first side done. Everything came out beautiful. You'll see some pictures here in a minute. No cracking. There's not going to be any follow-up work on this one like all the excess work I had to do on the other one. The soft rivets were definitely way easier to do this with, and they should still be plenty strong enough for what they need to do, especially since that hinge is glued on as well. So if you're doing this or you're getting ready to do this, that's my recommendation. Get you some soft rivets, cut back on the pressure or the stroke, whatever it is you use for your particular squeezer. Maybe get a scrap piece of fiberglass from your trimmings and do some test pieces and see what the pressure does or what kind of squeezing you need to do to get a good set without causing any cracking. So all that's left now is I got to do the reinforcements on this, which I might get to later today, if not this weekend. Clean up the hinge material. It did get a little goopy. And make sure that everything goes together really well. And then the actual finalizing of the lines and spacing and gaps will be done when I can pull the wings out and lay them on a table. But yeah, pretty much it. Straightforward. Much better than last time. There's the final results. Feel free to pause and zoom in on it if you want to take a closer look. So much nicer. And this morning, the Pro Seal set up enough. It's still kind of tacky, but set up enough that I went ahead and installed it on the wing. And I'm going to do a little show and tell of the difference between the backer rod with fiberglass for reinforcement and no reinforcements. So the wingtip right there, the left one, has reinforcement in it, and this right one does not. So you can see all that give and flex that it's got. This one has very little give. And you can hear how solid and one it kind of sounds. Whereas that one, nothing. Hope it helps. Stick around. I'll see you all in the next one.